Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we got another great video for you. We're going to learn how to set up a dual PC stream using a capture card. Our last video we went with how to do it with no capture card. Today we're going to say that capture cards are good. Let's get into how to set up a dual PC stream with a capture card. All right, so let's get into why you're all here, dual PC streaming. So what do we need to do? We need to figure out how to get video and audio from your gaming PC. This one is my gaming PC, over to your streaming PC. My streaming PC is under my desk. So we got to figure out how to get that information from the gaming PC to the streaming PC. As the title reads, we do that with a capture card. With a caveat. You can't get your microphone audio to your streaming PC through a capture card. This is for video and system audio, not your microphone audio. But we'll go over how to do that as well. So basically what you're going to need to do is get yourself a capture card. This one is an internal, means it goes on the motherboard. They make external ones that plug into USB 3.0. Whatever your preference is or your budget, that's what you're going to want to do. Now, this one in particular, it's called the Camlink Pro. We're going to do another video on specifically on how I do my streaming setup, because I have kind of an advanced setup, and that's why I have this particular capture card. And so make sure you guys get subscribed, because that video is going to be interesting. If you're ever planning on upgrading, you might get some ideas from that video. But anyways, a basic capture card like the Elgato HD60 Pro is an internal one, or there's the HD60S and S Plus. The difference between those two, they're both externals, but the difference is like 4K and not 4K. But anyways, you need some form of a capture card connected to your streaming PC. Then what we need to do is get a signal, video and audio, from the gaming PC to the streaming PC, right? Well, good thing for us, DisplayPort cables and HDMI cables send video and audio, right? So you got a graphics card in your gaming PC. It's got DisplayPorts and HDMI ports. If you use the DisplayPort to send a signal from your gaming PC to your streaming PC, you need a DisplayPort to HDMI cable or a dongle for that goes from DisplayPort to HDMI. They make both, so, and they're cheap, so you need one of those. If you use your HDMI cable or your HDMI port on your graphics card, then you're solid. These capture cards, they only have HDMI ports, so that's why you would need a DisplayPort to HDMI cable or adapter of some kind. So you get one of your display ports into your gaming monitor, and you use one of your extra ones to go into your capture card. That will send video signal from video and audio, system audio, from your gaming PC to your streaming PC. So once you have that done, then it's just figuring out how to get your microphone audio from your gaming PC to your streaming PC. How about we just say this? You should be using Discord on your gaming PC. If you don't, you're one of few. Because all of your system audio and video is already coming from your gaming to your streaming. There's no point to have to try to route audio from your streaming to your gaming. You don't want to go both directions. That's just way too hard when you can just send all of them one way, right? So make sure Discord's on your gaming PC. If you don't use Discord and you just use the in-game chat, then your system audio is already going through your graphics card into your capture card, right? So the one thing that your stream's not going to hear is your microphone, right? This guy, your mic. So the microphone is depending on what kind you have. If you have a USB microphone, then it's just plugged into a USB port on your gaming PC. If you have an XLR microphone, it's either in an interface or a mixer of some kind. I have an XLR microphone and I have a Go XLR. So for me, my microphone is going into the Go XLR, and the Go XLR is plugged into my gaming PC. If you have a different kind of mixer, it would be the same thing. Plug your microphone in the mixer and the mixer into the gaming PC. If you have a USB microphone, USB right into the gaming PC. Very easy. So getting it to the gaming PC, you should already know based on the microphone you've chosen, right? So make sure that if you haven't bought anything yet and you're just kind of looking at how to do this, an XLR microphone requires an interface like a Focusrite or M Audio makes an interface. Presonus makes an interface. An interface is literally just a way to get signal from the microphone to your computer. A mixer, on the other hand, like a Go XLR or like a professional audio mixer, they have several inputs and outputs that you can do a bunch of crazy stuff with. And if you're getting that serious, you're going to need to wait for a later video to figure out how to do that. So for now, we're just going basics. From the microphone to an interface or a mixer, and then that into your gaming PC, or a USB microphone directly into the gaming PC. So that's how you get the microphone audio to the gaming PC, but then how do we get it from the gaming PC to the streaming PC? Well, you've got one of two ways, and one way I can't show you. It's if you're using the mixer. Mixers have several outputs. You'll have an output going into your gaming PC. You'll need to use another one to go to your streaming PC and plug it into the line in on your motherboard. Okay, so it's usually like a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack on both ends, and it goes from the mixer into the line in port on your streaming PC. But another way, especially for those with USB microphones, there is free software. I talked about it in my last video on how to dual PC stream without a capture card. There's the software called NDI Tools, and you don't have to use it to send video over if you're using a capture card. You can use that same software literally just to send microphone audio from one PC to another, as long as both your computers are connected to your in-home internet, usually via Ethernet. I don't know a lot of gamers that use Wi-Fi because it's not reliable enough yet, but if you do, it still should work because both computers will be on the same network. So we'll go over the software portion of it. Really, the hardware thing is something that we can just only kind of talk about and say, plug it into here and then plug it into there. So with a microphone, XLR into a mixer, one of the outputs on the mixer goes into your gaming PC. A different output that receives the same signal will go into the line in on your streaming PC. So yeah, that's basically how you get video and audio and microphone audio into your gaming PC and also over to your streaming PC. The video and audio go into the capture card, and the microphone audio goes to your line in, or we use the NDI tools. So since the hardware portion is literally just telling you how to plug it into the line from your output of your mixer into the line in, that's what you guys got. The software portion, we're going to get on the computer here and see how that's done. All right, so let's talk about how we're going to get our video and audio system audio from our gaming PC into Streamlabs. So we've got the wires, the HDMI cable or DisplayPort cable going from the gaming PC into your capture card. So now when you open up Streamlabs OBS, under the far left box here, you're going to hit add. You're going to add a new scene. I've got several scenes already made, but you need to have a scene in order to add sources to that scene to show your viewers. So right here, I've added a display capture so that you guys can see what I'm doing. You won't need to do that. So the next thing you're going to want to do, since you have everything hooked up, your gaming PC is on, you're on your streaming PC on Streamlabs, we're going to hit the plus button under sources. And after we do that, we're going to look for video capture device. All right, we're going to click on that, and you can see up in the top left that capture cards, Elgato, Avermedia, Blackmagic, these are the things that we're wanting. So the video capture device is the correct selection. Add source. And on yours, you're probably not going to have options because I've already added a bunch, right? Yours is probably going to look more like this. And I named mine just plain old Elgato. I'm going to move that screen below the display capture. So with Elgato selected here, if I hit this settings cogwheel, it'll pull up this, which is what I think you're seeing on your first time through. And under devices, this is where you select your capture card. If you have a Camlink Pro like mine, you select the proper HDMI output. And then I basically just leave everything else as default and I hit done. So if I move this above my display capture now, this is my gaming PC that you're seeing from the Camlink. So now that you're seeing my gaming screen, let's hide that for a second because I want to show you something else. You can see that the Elgato has been added here, right? Now, whatever you named it, that's what will show up here. If you look under Mixer and you scroll, let's see. I wonder if I hid mine. Oh yeah, I hid it. All right. Yours won't be hidden because I'm doing my audio a little differently than you guys are. The Elgato will show up in your mixer, and you'll just want to adjust this volume slider to get the right volume for your stream. So when you add a source, if it has audio with it, it automatically gets added to the mixer. So your game video and your game audio is already in Streamlabs. So now let's unhide the Elgato because we want to talk about how to get our microphone audio over to our stream, correct? So you'll have to go to my last video on how to dual PC stream without a capture card to see the install process for this, but you'll need to install NDI tools, okay? There'll be a link in the description to the website, but you'll want to see my last video so you know how to do it and what to install and stuff. But once it's installed, you'll open up, let's see, Screen Capture. There's an app by NDI called Screen Capture. You start that app. You won't see it start. It starts in the background and it shows up down here. And right here, all right, so when you right click on NDI, the little NDI icon, the important thing for us here isn't the audio source, which is what you would think, right? You want the webcam audio source. I don't know why they named it that, but this is your microphone. Webcam audio source is your microphone. So whether you've got an XLR microphone connected to a mixer or an interface, or you're just using a USB microphone, it'll show up in this list and you choose your microphone. And once you've done that, now we want to be back over here on the streaming PC. And so the streaming PC, how we add that audio now is you just do the plus again, and then you look for this little tab here that says NDI source. We're going to add an NDI source. You can name it microphone or whatever you want. And then when you add it, again, I need to make sure that you guys are seeing what I'm seeing. You'll get this window that'll have this little NDI symbol. And under source name, you want to find the one that says audio only in parentheses and make sure that's selected. And then the next thing you're going to want to do is change the latency mode to low experimental and hit done. Now, I got to put this at the bottom of the list so that you guys can see what I'm doing still. But your NDI source, you want at the bottom of this list so that it doesn't look like this. You don't want people to see that on your stream. You want them to see whatever you're trying to show them, right? So for me, like here's my gaming PC again, right? You see this NDI source over here, that's going to be your microphone audio. And when you're talking into your microphone, you should be seeing this line bounce up and down like my microphone right here. So that's how that works. Now you've got your video game screen and sound and your microphone audio in Streamlabs. And you should be good to go. One thing I remembered. You're going to want to click on this settings icon in the mixer and make sure that your NDI source is down mixed to mono. All microphones should have this checked, down mixed to mono. Microphones are not stereo, they're mono. So, all right, that should be it. That should be how your system should be set up. Your Streamlabs should be set up for streaming. You should have video going into your capture card, going into Streamlabs, and now you should have your microphone audio through the software. All right, last thing for those of you that have hardware mixers or something like that for your microphone, if you have a Go XLR or just an audio mixer of some kind, and you have multiple outputs, so you have an output going from the mixer to your gaming PC and you have another output, it would go into the line in on your streaming PC. And how you would make sure that that gets set up in Streamlabs is that you click on the settings in the bottom left, click on the audio tab, and then under mic auxiliary device 1, this is where you would select line in Realtek R audio or whatever your line in is. I have Focusrite USB audio because for this particular recording that I'm doing for you guys, I'm using an interface to get my microphone straight into the streaming PC, so I don't have to have both computers on to record all this stuff. So, but that's basically it. So now we have a way for you to get audio, your microphone audio from your gaming PC to your streaming PC via software. Or if you have a hardware mixer and you're plugged into the line in on your streaming PC, you just need to make sure that your auxiliary audio device 1 has the line in selected as its default, and it will show up in your mixer here, and you'll be able to mess around with like the volume slider and stuff for that as well. You guys should all have everything you need at this point to start streaming. All right, so now you guys should have all the information you need and also some visuals on the software on how to set up your capture card and your microphone audio. So if you're running from your gaming PC with microphone audio to your streaming PC and you're wanting to use software, NDI Tools is the way to go. If you're using hardware, just make sure that the line in under the main settings of Streamlabs, under the audio tab, make sure that you have the line in selected under there for your microphone auxiliary. So that's all it takes to get a stream started. Doing a bunch of other stuff like having different types of scenes and transitions and all that stuff, that comes later. We want to make sure you can get up and running and let people see what you're doing. And I think we've accomplished that today. So I hope everybody enjoyed the video, that it was informative, and I hope you all have a good one. Kuhldude out.